I don't know if you've ever experienced this or someone in your life has, but there's a particular kind of terror that doesn't feel like it's got a name when it's happening to you. Your heart starts hammering, your chest tightens in a way that makes you think that you might be dying. A lot of people, their hands go numb, they might go tingly, the room might start to blur at the edges. And people tell me that their brain is screaming that something is catastrophically wrong and it's not possible to find the off switch. So if you've had a panic attack, you know exactly what I'm describing. And if you're listening to this, or if someone sent this to you because you have panic attacks, I want you to know when you're having these, you're not dying. I know it feels that way. I know your body is completely convinced otherwise, but you're not dying. Or you might have someone in your life that has them. This is really important to understand so that you can help them. All right, I want to explain to you what's actually happening in your body, because understanding it is one of the most powerful things that you can do. Not because knowledge makes the fear disappear immediately, but when you know what a panic attack actually is, you can stop being afraid of the fear itself, and that changes everything. So here's what's happening. Your brain has a threat detection system. So it's ancient, it's fast, it's very, very bad at distinguishing between the tiger in the bushes and the difficult thought that you're having on a Tuesday afternoon. So that system is called the amygdala. All right, that's the technical name for it. And what it doesn't do is it doesn't consult your rational mind before it starts acting. It just fires off. And it tells your body there's danger, you've got to prepare to fight, or you've got to prepare to run. And so that's what your body does. It does exactly that. So your heart speeds up. It's going to be pumping more blood to your muscles so that you're ready to either run or to fight. And your breathing gets shallower because it's got to bring in oxygen quickly. And then your digestive system shuts down because you don't need to digest food when you're running from that predator. And then blood rushes to all of your extremities. This is why you have symptoms like your hands tingling. And for some people, they describe that their vision narrows as well, and then your body temperature spikes, and then it drops. So this is the fight or flight response. It's doing its job perfectly. It's not malfunctioning. But what the problem is that the threat that your brain detected wasn't some predator from days of old when we needed to think about things like that. It was a racing thought. Maybe it was a crowded room. Maybe it was a sensation in your chest that your brain decided was dangerous. And here's the thing that turns a scared moment into a panic attack. You notice the physical sensations, and then you get scared of the sensations themselves. So your heart's beating fast and you think heart attack, or you're breathing shallow and you think I can't breathe, I'm going to suffocate. That fear, the fear of the fear, tells your amygdala more danger, and it fires again, and the loop closes and the spiral begins. So panic attacks typically are peaking within 10 minutes, and that's worth knowing because they feel like they can last forever, but they don't. Your body can't sustain that level of activation indefinitely. It's going to exhaust itself. It's going to come down. So I had panic attacks in my 20s. And I remember walking in Darling Harbour, which is a big tourist spot in Sydney, and all of a sudden feeling like my throat was closing over and I couldn't breathe. And it was just one of the worst feelings in the world. It happened a number of occasions, but this was the one I remember because I remember wanting to grab onto someone and say to them, I can't breathe. It happened after I'd had a diving accident in Sydney where I thought I couldn't breathe, and it was a kind of, I don't know, I have flashbacks to this, and my throat would close over and would happen absolutely randomly. And I literally thought I was going to die in front of people as I was walking in Darling Harbour. I didn't know what to do because I didn't think I was having panic attacks, but afterwards I was told that that's what I was having. I knew I was absolutely terrified. I knew I thought I was dying, and I know that the terror made it worse. And so what I had to learn from it was not to fight it, not to distract myself from it, not to try and logic my way through it. I just had to allow it to be there and try and not run with the panic. That's what I was advised to do. And when I did that, strangely, they stopped. So I probably had about 5 or 6 of them. Now, I know how counterintuitive this sounds because at the time, every instinct says run, suppress, make it stop. But there's a lot of research about this. And what they've found is that if you try to avoid it, if you try to resist it, the panic attacks actually get worse over time. So if we fight the sensations, we're actually adding more adrenaline to the fire. So if we're trying to push away those feelings, we're saying to our nervous system, this is still dangerous. And then that loop keeps going. So what actually interrupts the cycle is the shift in that signal that you're sending. Don't fight, don't flee, but something more like, okay, I know what this is. It's my alarm system. It's misfiring. I'm not going to die. That was the thing I had to tell myself. I'm not going to die. I'm safe. I'm going to be okay. All right? One of the techniques that's really good is the 4-7-8 breathing. I was thinking about this yesterday because I was actually reading a book, and just a normal book, and they talked about exactly this, the 4-7-8 breath. And I remembered it, and I thought, oh, that's a good one to talk about with panic attacks, right? There's a genuine physiological reason why the 4-7-8 breaths actually work. Because the breathing slowly activates your parasympathetic nervous system. So that's the part of your nervous system that is responsible for rest and for you calming down. And it does this by stimulating your vagus nerve, which you know I've talked a lot about. So you're literally using your breath to send a message to your brain to say, I'm okay, the threat that I'm experiencing isn't actually real. So what you do is you breathe in for 4 counts, you hold for 7 counts, and then you breathe out slowly for 8. So you don't have to do it perfectly, even just slowing your exhale down, making your out breath longer than your in breath. That starts to shift your nervous system out of high alert. So do it once, do it twice, and see if there's a shift, even if it's small. And while you're doing that, another great thing is this technique that I always love. Try and notice 5 things you can see, and then 4 things you can touch, and then 3 things you can hear. This isn't a distraction technique. It's actually pulling your rational brain back online, all right? It's called attentional redirection. And it basically works because your brain genuinely can't run the panic circuit and be aware of have sensory awareness at the same time. Can't do it, all right? And so here's another thing. After a panic attack, you might have this instinct, right? And you might think, I've got to avoid whatever triggered it. I don't know, maybe it was a crowded supermarket or a social situation or a particular part of the highway. And I understand that impulse, but I want to say to you this really gently. Avoidance is one of the main ways that panic disorder develops, and it's one of the ways it deepens. So every time we avoid, we're sending a message to our brain saying, you know what, that situation was genuinely dangerous. And we teach our nervous system to fear it even more. Okay? So that doesn't mean you push yourself through misery, but it does mean you've got to take small steps back toward the thing that triggered it. Ideally, you have some support to do it. So your nervous system can learn, we went there, we came back, we're okay. All right? So there's nothing wrong with your nervous system. It's just a little overprotective. And there's really effective ways to deal with it. All right? So I hope that's helpful. Don't forget, come and do the happiness quiz. There's a link in there in the description. I need you to know that you're not what's happening in your body right now. You're the one that notices it. And that gap, that small, steady place between you and the panic, that's where the work happens. That's where you get through it. I hope this has been helpful. As always, be kind, take care, go gently in the world.